Hello students and welcome to Notebook. Today we shall learn about a new chapter in geography, forest and wildlife resources. This chapter is not a part of your main syllabus but is included in the internal assessment. So let us begin. As you can already guess by the name that in this chapter we'll be studying about our surroundings, the plants, animals, microorganisms, which forms our biodiversity and helps in managing the ecological balance. You heard the word biodiversity just now, didn't you? Now what is meant by biodiversity? Biodiversity is the richness in wildlife and cultivated species that are diverse in form and function, but are interrelated and are interdependent and hence closely integrated in a system. Let us now take a micro view and concentrate on the biodiversity of our country. Out of 1.6 million species known in the world, India has almost 8% of the world's species. Thus, studying the biodiversity of this country is exceptionally interesting. But in the recent years, the flora and fauna of our country is at risk. The flora and fauna that has been recently assigned to the threatened list is also known as the Endangered Species List. According to the International Union for Conservation of Nature and Natural Resources, IUCN, existing plants and animals can be categorized. Normal species: the plants or animals whose population level is at a normal state. Some examples of normal species are the ones that we see around us, such as cattle, goat in animals, and sal and pine in plants. The next category is called the endangered species. Endangered species are the ones which are at the verge of extinction, that is, their population is below normal. Hence, extra care has to be taken to protect these species. Some example of these are black buck, Indian rhino, etc. among animals. Among plants, some examples are ebony tree, umbrella tree, etc. The third category is the vulnerable species. Vulnerable species are the ones who are at a stage from where they can easily move to the endangered category. Some of the examples of the animals who are at this stage are blue sheep, Asiatic elephants, etc. The fourth category is the rare species. This category constitutes of those species which already have a small population. Thus, they have to be protected as they can move to the vulnerable or the endangered category very easily. Some examples are desert fox, Asiatic buffaloes, etc. The next category is the endemic species. These are the ones which are found in only some parts of the country. They are Andaman teal, Nicobar pigeon, etc. The last category is the extinct species. These are the ones which existed at one point of time, but they don't anymore. Some of them are pink-headed ducks and Asiatic cheetahs. The extinction of species is very harmful for our ecological balance. Crucial factors have been identified which accounts for affecting the flora and fauna of our country negatively. One of the prime reasons behind the depletion of the flora and fauna of the country is deforestation. During the colonial period, in the name of development, Indian forests were damaged heavily for railways, agriculture, and other commercial activities. Another reason that has been identified is the degradation of forest belts due to shifting cultivation or the jhum cultivation, where parts of forests are burnt down for agriculture. Moreover, large amount of forests had to be cleared for the Narmada Sagar project in Madhya Pradesh, and the Buxar Tiger Reserve had been threatened badly by the dolomite mining. Since all these factors have been severely affecting our climate and the biodiversity, the government, along with the common people, have taken a number of steps for the conservation of forest resources. The Indian Wildlife Protection Act was implemented by the Government of India in 1972. The main aim of this act was to ensure the protection of plants and animals. Under this act, the government published a list of plants and species. Hunting or harvesting these species were considered illegal. This act also ensured legal protection of these species habitats. Further, the central government announced a number of projects to save some particular species. The Wildlife Act of 1980 and 1986 included several kinds of butterflies and moths in the list of species to be protected. In 1991, for the first time, plants were added in this list. Like that of species, even forests have also been categorized. These are the reserve forests, protected forests, and unclassed forests. The reserve forests are the ones which are considered as most valued with regard to conservation of wildlife. Nandankanan Reserve Forest in Odisha is an example of reserve forest in India. The next kind is the protected forests. These are the ones which have been protected from further depletion. The third is the unclassed forest. These forests are lands those belong to both the government and private individuals as well as communities. Not only the government, but the common people have also played their role in conservation of forests. In the Alwar district, the residents have declared 1,200 hectares of forest land as Bhairodev Dakav, which has their own set of rules and regulations which ensures the protection of the wildlife. The Chipko movement is another such example which successfully resisted deforestation in the Himalayas to a large extent. Further, Beej Bachao Andolan in Tehri have also played an important role in resisting the usage of chemicals in producing crops. The Joint Forest Management Program ensures the involvement of local communities in cases of restoration of degraded forests. Thus, through this chapter, we understand the importance of the ecological balance. We even get an overview of the current condition of our country and how it requires both the government and the common people to take necessary steps. That's all for today, students. To have a clearer concept, take a look at the recap and the question and answer videos of this chapter. Till then, keep learning. Goodbye.